What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're looking to get your music reviewed, you can hit up this email that's right here. But today I'm going to hit you up with my thoughts and opinions on this new Nas album called NASIR. Now, Nas, of course, is a hip-hop legend out of Queens who's put in plenty of work, and we gotta acknowledge that he does have a classic with Illmatic. I don't think anyone can take that away from him, and he certainly has had his ups and downs throughout his career as well. He has a lot of other great records you can throw in there, including Life is Good, which came out about 6 years ago, but then there are some duds in there as well. Just like with any artist who's been around for, how many years has Nas been around? Like 30-some years or so? Any artist that's been around that long is not always going to be consistent from beginning to end. That's just how it goes. But all that said, I think we were all very curious to hear what he'd be doing with this project, especially since he's working with Kanye West. You put Nas on Kanye West beats, and the hype really just builds itself. You know what I mean? You don't got to do too much to sell people on that shit. However, I can honestly say that this one felt a little bit underwhelming to me. I also think it's fair for people to be a bit underwhelmed because of the high expectations here. I mean, this has been a long time we've waited for this Nas record. And on top of all that, we have his legacy, and also the fact that this is just 7 tracks, man. If you're gonna make a project that is 7 tracks, you cannot spare any moment. You know what I mean? You gotta come with fire from beginning to end, because if you're gonna have some filler tracks or moments that aren't all the way there, it's really going to stick out on a short project, and that was what one of the issues I had with this was. So, for example, White Label does have some pretty nice sample-based production on it. It sounds alright, but lyrically, this one is just unfocused, man. You got Nas on here rapping about eating tuna salad and lobster, and then all of a sudden he's rapping about choking girls and spitting in their mouths. I don't even know what to make of some of this shit, you know what I mean? It's like he's a gentleman who also whacks off the ghetto gaggers and facial abuse and some crazy shit like that, you know what I mean? Maybe you don't know what I mean. If you don't know, you're probably better off. But, I just found some of these songs to be unfocused, and I think if he took a bit more time with this project and conceptually tied the shit together more, it would have stuck out more, man. Frankly, this shit just feels a little bit rushed. You also get some uninspired bars on the song Bonjour. He says, "Want her ass the fattest, beat it Thriller jacket, and she didn't see me coming, now she's an eyewitness." Whew, that's a pretty bad one right there. But again, you get some nice string and piano production here, and the Tony Williams vocals on it are nice. I honestly gotta say that the production did a lot of heavy lifting on this project. I'm not saying Nas is a bad rapper, that would just be out of line for me to say that's not the case, because he's still flowing pretty good on here, but I just felt like the verses were kind of haphazard in spots. It really does feel like they just chucked the shit together over a very short period of time, and that may very well be the case. I do have to shout out the song Adam and Eve, though. This is a track that has some more great production with the nice piano work, and this is an instance where I think Nas fit the beat really well. I think his flow and cadence just felt a bit more natural on this track, and as the title suggests, there's this theme of how the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, so there are some pretty good bars on that one too, and it was one of the better cuts. Now, even on the song Not for Radio, we get some operatic / orchestral sample-based production, so I did like the epic feel of this, but this one also has its shortcomings. First of all, you get Diddy just screaming in a bunch of spots. We really didn't need Diddy ad-libs on this, or do we ever really need Diddy ad-libs? I don't know, I don't think we do. And it kind of feels like Nas was just trying to push in as many keywords and quick points as he could on here. So you're going to hear him mention Moors, Masons, Black Panthers, Ronald Reagan, the crack epidemic. Just a lot of these keywords and very quick points, as I said, but he doesn't flesh all these ideas out. Now, there is a pretty cool idea to this track. On the hook, 070 Shake is saying that, she thinks they're scared of us, so it's sort of about black empowerment and the strength that black people have. I do appreciate that, but I just wish that some of these bars were a bit more fleshed out, man. That was one of the main things I took away from a lot of these tracks. There's even a line on here where he declares that Fox News was started by a black man, and that is just false as far as I know. I looked it up and I looked into it, and there's nothing that states that. Although some people are arguing that maybe he meant the rise of Obama had something to do with how Fox News kind of grew and became more popular or whatever. I don't know. He doesn't really explain that as being that way, so you could take it that way if you want, but I kind of took it as a more literal thing, as him saying Fox News was started by a black man. It's just what he said. But to move forward here, I'm not saying Nas has completely lost it. I just want to make that clear. Like, I'm not saying he's a bad rapper. I got to say that a couple times, because sometimes people only hear certain aspects of what I'm saying and ignore the rest. But I just feel like the tracks that are more focused really stick out more. So with the song Cops Shot the Kid, for example, you gotta appreciate that Richard Pryor intro as well as the Slick Rick vocal sample, although I did find that vocal sample got a bit distracting, grating, and repetitive. It just went on and felt like the beat could have used a bit more to it, but still, man, this one stuck out because of the content. That's what really held this track together for me. So Nas has a nice line on here where he spits that white kids are brought in alive and black kids get hit with 5. I thought that was a powerful moment, just speaking on how different races are treated differently by police, specifically in the United States of America. And even Kanye goes in on this topic. I think some people might be surprised by that because of how he's been rocking the MAGA hat and saying some pretty scandalous, crazy shit just about, racial issues in general. The whole slavery was a choice thing, da 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 da. But here he had a pretty good verse. He says, he understands that cops want to make it home safe, so at times they might be kind of paranoid and just worried about things because they got a life and a family too. But yet he also says that a lot of these cops can get paranoid, shoot somebody, kill somebody, young innocent brother who really wasn't even doing anything, maybe smoking a bit of weed or whatever, and then they'll just kind of use that as an excuse and the cop will get off. I mean, we've seen that happen all the time, and I do appreciate that Kanye was bringing that here. This just really adds to the whole chaotic nature of Kanye and how we don't really know what the fuck he's talking about or thinking in general. Like, he's just all over the place with his shit. So, it is what it is. But this verse in particular I thought was pretty dope and I liked it. One of my favorite tracks on here, though, has got to be Simple Things. I really like the beat here with the vocal samples and the organs on it. It kind of feels like he's just taking us to church, so it works good as a closer. And I appreciate how he speaks to his critics on this one. He urges us to look at his plaques because clearly he's doing well and having success. People are definitely fucking with his music. And yet he brings up that a lot of people question him over his beats. He says, "Never sold a record for the beat. It's my verses they purchase. Without production, I'm worthless, but I'm more than the surface. Want me to sound like every song on the top 40? I'm not for you. You not for me. You bore me." As is always the case when I read the shit, I don't make it sound that good because I'm just reading it, I'm not rapping it, but I really do like what he's saying there. He's showing that self-awareness, he knows people don't always fuck with his beat selection, but look how far he's made it and how good he's doing. So clearly he's making the right decisions, and at the end of the day, you can't really hate on Nas too much. I mean, he is one of the legends and an icon. But the last track I'm going to speak on is Everything. This is just a 7-minute track featuring some vocal blends from Kanye and Dream. I actually think the vocals on this sound pretty good. I mean, Kanye's not belting out notes, but it still sounds catchy and it works. And there are some nice lines on this, so I'm just going to break a couple of them down. Nas says, "When the media slings mud, we use it to build huts." Just the idea of building yourself up despite the negativity that surrounds you in the media. And he also says that people do anything to be involved in everything. Inclusion is a hell of a drug. Some people have everything they probably ever wanted in life and never have enough. This was just a great way to speak on the mind state that some people have. People fall into peer pressure sometimes. People will do anything just to stay on the side that everyone else is on because they don't want to get in an argument or be put down, you know what I mean? I think we see that shit happen on Twitter sometimes where someone says something a little different and everyone goes off. So sometimes people want to play it safe and just be included in the masses, included with the general consensus or whatever the case may be. So I like how he said that. And of course, some people who have everything feel like they never have enough. Can't always be satisfied. That's how some people are. So I thought this was a pretty dope track, man. There is some more content to get into here, including when he brings up the Philadelphia black men who were arrested when they went into Starbucks, that whole shady situation. Also speaking on how he went from a staircase loiterer to a Lambo driving mansion dweller. I thought this was a pretty good track, man. I got a little bit scared when I saw it was 7 minutes, I'm not going to lie. But I think it held together quite well. The production was kind of breezy and atmospheric, and it was one of the standout moments, man. It felt like one of the more focused tracks. So, at the end of the day, I think this is definitely a good album, but there's not a whole lot here that's dragging me back into it. Like, I didn't feel like I just listened to the amazing Nas album that we've been waiting for, you know what I mean? I know the expectations are high, but you know what? When you're an artist like Nas, that's how it's gonna be. That's why you're one of the GOATs, because people are expecting top-tier craziness, but I don't know, man. This felt a bit rushed to me, felt a little bit unfinished. I feel like there is a lot of good stuff here, but he definitely could have tidied it up and done better with a bit more time. So I was a bit disappointed after a long wait, getting these 7 tracks and not liking a couple of them, finding some fillerish moments and lazy bars. That's all why I'm going to go with a 3 out of 5, man. That was pretty good, but come on, man. We know Nas is better than this. I can't believe some people are saying like this is some of his best work, because if you've listened to Nas's work in the past and seen some of his other albums, this shit can't be there. But hey, man, that's just how I feel. You guys can let me know in the comments section what you think and where you'd rank this in his discography, because we all got different opinions, and this is just mine. But that's it, man. That's all I got to say. Let me know. Make sure you check me out on all my social media sites so you can show me love and show me lots of it. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you next time.